Their early solo laners were very well ahead. Their bot lane was even. Everything was honestly looking great until that one tragedy at the blue buff. They got 4 for 0. They lost Rift Herald. They lost pressure. And it seemed like a little bit they lost confidence in their strategy because we had a Gnar who's built fully for split push, just basically grouped, walking around with the team, looking only to team fight. And, Vladimir and Gnar were obviously supposed to be in the side lanes, 1-3-1. You have double TP advantage over your team, but they were not able to pull it off. And part of that goes to the fact that if your 3-man squad cannot stay safe against the Hecarim, against the Shen, that all falls apart. And when you pick teams that do not have enough disengage or enough kind of mobility to avoid it, it's really, really difficult, right? Like, the Ashe, for Fabi, it's so hard. How do you stay safe against this Hecarim and the Shen? They're just going to be diving on you.
And that's exactly what happened, is we're actually pretty far through the draft already. Bans are done as Team Liquid takes Soraka, J4, and Aurelia out of the mix. Apex, same 2 bans to start things off with Karma and Trundle, with Sivir being their final ban. So they've left that Malzahar open. They've left Rek'Sai open as well as the other big one. Apex clearly respecting the power of Sivir. And TL just say, despite the fact that he played Shen last game, we're afraid of Raise Champions Pool still, as Lolo going to first pick Cassiopeia for Phoenix.
Interesting that they changed up the bans that much when they were both available last time and weren't picked. It seems pretty bizarre to me to have this big of a swing in the pick ban phase. And either way, it will be looking like it's going to be 2 things that were banned away last time going through first rotation for Apex, which would be quite nice for them. Unfortunately, I don't know. I actually think that they should just pick the Hecarim. It works so well for them. Yes, Rek'Sai is great. Yes, Rek'Sai is very strong. But if you can take Rek'Sai, you can give away Rek'Sai. You can take the Hecarim and the Shen, which is a combo that was so powerful for you. That's something that I think that I would want to do. Just kind of relying on the success of the first game and using that combo. At the same time, Ashe also works exceptionally well in this combo, and that's something that Fabi picks a lot. We know Dardoch can play Hecarim though. I think what they're trying to do here is they're saying, you know what? Dardoch, you will pick the Rek'Sai. You won't take the Hecarim over that Rek'Sai, and if you do, it's not that bad of a trade-off for us, right? We still get Rek'Sai, we still get this strong champion, but Fabi for sure will take the Ashe. So they're trying to basically put TL in this position where they now have to pick the Rek'Sai, which is supposed to be higher priority, and then just give away everything to Apex. And I think it's actually a really smart banning and picking strategy here from Apex, and I think TL has been maybe duped a little bit. I think that they were kind of expecting that the Rek'Sai would be picked by their opponents so that they could take some of this back and maybe flip it around on them.
I like it. Coach St. Vicious doing some good work here, as they've sort of pinched Lolo's champion pool as well. Yeah. And that Trundle and Aurelia, by TL I might mention, was banned away there on the blue side. So they'll take the Shen, they'll take the Ashe. What does Team Liquid have? Dardoch goes back to Gragas. Fabi goes to Ezreal.
Yeah, and this makes sense. This is saying, hey, if you're going to pick into Hecarim, if you're going to play that kind of play style, then guess what? This is a slippery champion. It's going to be hard to get on me. It's going to be hard to take him out on that Ezreal. And they also have disengage as well as explosive early game from the Gragas. But I think Apex can still kind of just go right at them. They can still look for the same sort of strategies here. They have the Taric available. They have the Hecarim available. You could just pick up both of those and then leave your mid laner for that last pick, counter pick. Allow Keen to have that flexibility and essentially lock yourself into what you had last game, but with even more explosive engage because of the Ashe ult being traded out for the Sivir.
I mean, all looks pretty similar. I like it here from Apex, but we'll see if they do want to change things up here. Team Liquid definitely playing safe versus all the initiation from last time. Apex gonna mix it up. They'll lock in Victor, they'll lock in Nidalee.
Yeah. Nidalee obviously very powerful here as well. Shrimp is very good on the Nidalee. Does have kind of that more early game impact. And I think this is probably because of that AD carry selection, because it's something that is kind of more slippery, it's harder to get onto. That does make sense. You still kind of can do the combo somewhat similarly. If you hit a spear on Nidalee, you can dive in with Shen ulti, so it kind of works that way. Obviously not the exact same thing, and they're actually leaving their support for the last pick. So to me that says that, hey, we do like Taric, but we're not about to play Taric into, like a Nami or something like this, right? They want to only pick it if they do have it into perhaps a specific matchup. And now that they do see the melee matchup, that is what it was contingent upon, so they lock it in. So Matt picks the Braum, they get that as their last pick. Victor in the mid lane, and I like the draft from Apex. I think the adaptations were smart from TL, but I do think it would have been nice to see them just kind of just run it back, honestly, with the Hecarim. Even though there's an Ezreal, Cassiopeia is still a fantastic target for this.
Feels like they've got still a straightforward combo, I suppose, as Lolo going to run back the same matchup. Also, Gnar versus Shen. Kind of curious to see how much Apex have to change here, although the strategy looks relatively similar. And Phoenix, we talked about his big Vladimir game. Cassiopeia is a champion that is really nice to go big on here, and Phoenix has an opportunity to not just get ahead in lane and get a lot of work done on Vladimir, but potentially just hard carry the game with Cassio.
Yeah, you certainly can. And when Cassio gets going, it's so scary because the champion scales so far into the game. You don't have to buy boots, so that can be another big ticket item, right? That could be another death cap. That could be, you know, a Ryalizer, whatever you choose as that last item. And it's so powerful moving forward into the late game. And just by virtue of your item build, you essentially have more power than your opponents when you get late stages of the game.
And you mentioned this already. It does feel like for Team Liquid, it's mostly just about making sure your execution's a little cleaner in the game. For Apex, strategy's kind of similar. It's not nearly as straightforward, but you have to think, you know, they can probably play something like this. They kind of stick into basics, sticking to a lot of the same champions that won them the game last time. So we'll see if Apex can actually 2-0 upset TL and really shake up that third place spot, or if Team Liquid say, you know what, it was just one game. Let's play this one and move on to the next. Make sure we take the series and hold that spot we want to there in third place. Don't forget, of course, update your votes. Hashtag TL, hashtag APX win as we move on to the Rift for game number 2. Team Liquid this time going to move out from the blue side.
If TL loses this series, their chance getting third is getting very small. So they really need to pull off a reverse sweep here, pick up this win, and go into the C9 series tomorrow very confident. And Apex obviously looking to keep their playoff hopes alive and looking to just perform well and kind of play spoiler.
Apex knows that they do need a bit of help here, but all the work they can do is simply win the games that are in front of them. Team Liquid, a tough opponent, but taking game 1 is a nice start for them here. Apex have kind of been the kings of taking one game and then not managing to convert for the second or third, but it feels like the team's just really sharpened things up in the last few weeks. Game 1's a good indicator there. We'll see if they carry that performance over as Shrimp. Just going to miss that ward there. Puts one down right next to it. Saying, there you go, Dardoch. I'll join you in the vision around that area.
We'll see if Shrimp can kind of act as that Shen delivery system on the Nidalee as well as Hecarim. And I think that's what a lot of this is going to be kind of contingent upon is just that how well can they execute these engages, how well they can kind of pull it off, because Hecarim works so well for delivering Taric stuns and the Shen ulti, and that was really the key to getting them a lot of these fights and a lot of these engages. And although they do have the Ashe, it's still harder for Shen to kind of get in there without the flash unless you have one of those great delivery systems like the Hecarim.
You can see Phoenix does have the cleanse as well, so aware of how good that is against the Ashe potentially. And we are going to have standard lanes this time around, so we kind of wanted to see some of the Taric Braum matchup. We will get it here, as everyone's just going to start on some camps, but we will move out into no lane swap this time around.
Yeah, so it is going to be straight up standard lanes. We'll see who can get the advantage as, you know, Apollo, he did work last time. He did very well for himself. You know, he was saying that they felt they had to get the advantage in the bot lane because they didn't think the Teal had that strong of a bot lane. And there is a nice little trade from Xpecial. And every auto he gets, remember, with that passive, reduces his cooldown, so he can do it that much more.
Well, see right now, looking pretty good. Both the AD carries already level 2. Xpecial just kind of clearing some minions out here with his Targons. Should be level 2 relatively soon, and now going to hit it. Looking to get aggressive. Good Q there from Matt, but he's going to get stunned down on Xpecial. Grabbing the passive every time he can. Pops up for a bit of extra armor, and this is a nice little lane here so far. Matt already forced to burn through a couple biscuits.
Honestly, though, Xpecial took the worst end of that trade as Fabi was shooting Xpecial the whole time, and Apollo was not shooting Matt. So sure, Xpecial got a little bit of damage out, and he won the individual trade, but you need to have your AD carry involved, and the fact that Fabi traded back more allowed them to get the edge.
Well, it seems like Apex's bottom lane do want to continue playing up here. We'll see if that costs him anything. As Shrimp pops himself over, looking for a red buff steal.
He may actually wait. We'll see how patient he wants to be. He's probably going to try to wait and see if the Gragas does start this up. And Gragas is low. Dardoch can be in a lot of trouble here.
Shot.
Oh, he missed!
Speed does not land. Dardoch going to get out of that one.
That could have been first blood. And now in the bot lane.
Matt stunned up. Apollo tried to get some extra vision, but a bit of impatience going to cost Shrimp there. Might still look for this red buff though. Dardoch is still low.
Yeah, Dardoch is actually hoping that he's going to start it up now and that he can turn it around on him. So you can see Matt coming over. They have even the collapse coming in here from Phoenix, and he doesn't realize he's sitting on a ward. Shrimp has to get out.
He hops out. Really nice hop there. Definitely on top of the Nidalee mechanics. But Dardoch going to keep his red buff. So little exchange almost goes well, but not quite converted there. Ray looking for a taunt, doesn't find it. Lolo even gets a hyperproc there as he hops away, and CS is looking even, but Ray's taking a big chunk of harass here in this 1v1.
Yeah, and it's often the case on this matchup, but Nidalee moving over towards the top side, and we need to see Shrimp keep the pressure up. Yes, he kind of flubbed on that first attempt, but does have Dardoch coming up here, can look for something, is just going to run out, doesn't have the confidence to go for it. A little bit unfortunate, as could have been a big early advantage for Shrimp. Could have been a free first blood with that Spirit.
Yeah, instead just moves back into his own side of the jungle. Lolo able to cover Dardoch there in that left-hand side, so good team play there from TL to make sure that the buffs stay over on their side of the map. Still a fast jungler though, so Shrimp should be able to clean through the rest of his camps pretty quickly. And Ray is kind of going to sit here and take it for a little while longer. It does have the Doran shield. Things will get easier as the lane goes on, but Nah should have a lead for a decent while in this matchup, kind of before Ray gets nice and tanky. Ray doing a nice job keeping up though.
Yeah, Ray's doing fine, and you can last hit under the turret well. The problem comes when you have to last hit the range minions, because when you go up for those range minions, you expose yourself to a lot of harass. Very easy for Lorlo to just kind of proc that hyper, get that damage out here. So sure, great, you got those melee ones. We'll see how much damage he's able to take going for the range. And also, some of your minions simply just deny them away from you, which can be frustrating.
Like that one gets away from him. Phoenix, in the meantime, just holding the wave here. Keen playing reasonably up on the Victor, but doesn't want to get Dardocked. Gragas is a very good mid lane ganker, but Keen just sort of letting the wave push back towards him. Good stun off the Fabi there from Xpecial as the Apex bottom lane. Is that Apollo's confidence we heard at the start of the series? Working out a little bit here, but Fabi match will be just fine here. CS nice and even. As long as they can play safe in the lane, that's kind of all Ezreal really needs to have happen.
Certainly is, and once Ezreal picks up the tier, you're not going to run out of mana. So you can just last hit with Qs for so long, and Fabi has been taking the worst end of these trades as Apollo still has his biscuit, a little bit healthier, and we'll see if they can press that advantage.
Phoenix though onto Kane, as Kane just eating damage. Phoenix even with the ultimate ready, so Kane can't really stay. Shrimp, they're going to look to try and make something happen. Matt will flash out from under that spear.
Kane's going to need to be careful because this is alt flash territory. When you're that low, if you get tagged, you could get taken out, and as a result, he's actually just going to have to base and give up a lot. Okay, he cancels the base. We'll see if that prompts Phoenix to stick around.
And Kane playing a little dangerously, but Shrimp actually forcing Fabi off this tower. This might even be a tower dive here for Apex.
They're looking for it. Yeah, Matt is based, and they want Fabi.
Oh, he eats a spear. Now the ulti in from Ray as well. Fabi just dead, and he knows it. First blood to Apollo.
Great delivery there. Shen comes in, and they are able to get that first blood, and now they're going to look for the turret, too. Apollo getting that first blood was massive.
Really nice play there from Apex. Ray bumps down with the ultimate and then teleports back to top lane. Will not have his TP for a little while, so global advantage Team Liquid, but Ray makes sure he keeps up reasonably well in CS. Phoenix again is off to a good start in this lane, but Keen's going to rejoin. He's got his E upgraded now, so wave clear's going to get a little easier. And again, it's kind of funny, but if Apex's solo lanes can hold on with the champions they have, if the bottom lane keeps going well, Apex are going to kind of unlock this game again.
Certainly possible, and Fabi, he knows he's dead. There's 4 guys, no one else is here to help you. Doesn't even waste a summoner. Intelligent play from here. Keen now has based, upgraded that E, looking to shove out, and Lorlo, meanwhile, has not taken his first base either.
Oh, gets him with the ulti. Ray taunts through him, and the minions are actually doing decent damage, but Ray still taking damage there from Lorlo, who's doing a little too much. Spirit's Refuge up. Ray going to try and outplay this one, and Lorlo not quite able to get the kill. Boomerang a little short.
All Lorlo is really trying to do is spend his health before he bases. He knows he wants to base, so he trades out all his health. Ray has already used his TP, so it's hard for him to base in the same situation. And it's very intelligent, small little things here for Lorlo that could carve out an advantage, because this means if Ray bases right now, he could potentially lose some minions or fall behind in other ways.
Special got stunned that time around. Oh, passive barely. Not enough to take out that green ward. As Apollo going to miss that Winter's Bite here. Ultimate's ready for Apollo. No jungler done just yet for either side, so Team Liquid playing kind of a little aggressive there. Going to bluff Apex out a little bit. Phoenix goes ahead, gets his blue buff. Dardoch made sure that starts up for him. And Ray's going to have to return. He did squeeze a base in there, and the wave's in a decent spot, but certainly smart play from Lolo, who's continuing to stay ahead in this lane. 10 CS up, in fact, for the top and mid lane here for Team Liquid.
Well, I mean, you say the wave's in a decent spot, but it's going to be pushing away from Ray, which actually means
it's a terrible spot.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous because the extra minions, and that is the advantage that they gain, because Lorlo got it to crash, which means it's going to reset, it'll push towards him, and this is going to put Ray in a spot where he's very exposed. He either needs to try to shove it in, which is going to kind of require his jungler's help, or just him being extremely risky. And it's going to be rough. Also, when you have the Bomby Cinder, that naturally helps to push it towards your opponent as well. So Lorlo could look for a freeze here and try to kind of extend the advantage that way, but may not be the choice. He does have TP advantage, so shoving in, looking to make plays elsewhere, also very viable.
I like it from Shrimp, playing aggressive towards the red buff again, but Dardoch does manage to secure it this time. Nice wards here from Shrimp. Gets the Raptor with the spear as well. Phoenix kind of getting pushed in now as Keen, with a blue buff especially, can just push the wave in constantly versus Cassio. Phoenix again keeping up in CS. He's got his tier ticking away, so things will be just fine. Negatron Click keeps him safe, but Dardoch eating spears. Seems like Apex are just playing for this first Drake here, and it is a Mountain Drake once again.
Yeah, and I think it's really smart of Apex to play around the bot side, because look at the combat advantage as far as this bot lane goes. This is a BF Sword Ashe to just a tier and a Mana Crystal on Fabi. Fabi is ridiculously weak right now. They could even look for the dive if Dardoch moves towards mid. We'll have to see. They see him moving up, so I think they may actually go. No, okay, they're going to call it off. They see him coming down.
Yeah, have to be a bit careful here. Good wards from Shrimp. Kind of give them all the information they need to make the right decision there. Dardoch actually back Matt, looking for an engage. Finds it special. As Fabi going to get ulted in the face. Apollo going to try and turn it around as Ray. Looks to get down there as well, but the teleport's in from Team Liquid. Special staying alive, but here's Lolo in Mega Knife form. Now Ray has to be careful. Lolo gets two with the ulti, but the taunt back. He's going to move as Apollo gets walloped there by the Gnar. Shrimp going to be late, but Keen's down here as well. Apex looking to turn things around. Spear's going to miss, but the ulti's down. Huge amount of damage as Special takes out Matt. There's one as well for Keen as he slays Dardoch, and Lolo eats a spear for another kill. Phoenix, he's trying so hard, but he doesn't kill Keen.
Oh my god, and double heals coming in, saving Keen as Tarek and Nidalee barely able to keep him alive. Such a well-played fight there from Apex, and it looked like it was going to be pretty scary as Shrimp and Keen were kind of late to the fight. They were kind of trying to zone off their opponents, and you can see them in the jungle trying to cut off the Cassiopeia. And because they're kind of slow to this fight, it ends up being an odd-numbered fight. But Xpecial delays so much with his ultimate coming down, then the Shen ulti buys even more time. Ray, he's able to land a nice double taunt, slowing things down even more. Apollo staying safe in the back. Fabi just does not add much damage with his build at this point, and then Keen gets aggressive, lands the last tick of the ultimate. They get 2 quick kills, and Phoenix looking for that trade. You can see heals coming in from Nidalee, heals coming in from Xpecial, barely survives.
And really nicely played there for Apex. A 4-0 teamfight win down the bottom lane here, and they're up 2,000 gold already. It seems like they thought of every single scenario.
Yeah, it's looking rough for TL again. Is this was supposed to be an easy match for them. This is, you know, what people were predicting is a clean game from TL, but they lose game 1. They're got their backs up against the wall here in game 2, and Lolo has a nice little freeze, is up some CS, but Shen is not at a point where he's falling behind in levels. He's not at a point where he's even really falling that much behind in gold, because he has some assists, he's doing well, and he's rotating, and has been looking excellent.
Apex continuing to play up in this bottom lane. Shrimp's here again as he's going to spot Dardoch. Keen's here as well, and that's actually Dardoch getting tagged. Going to force him over the wall with the body slam as Shrimp takes out 50% of his health bar. And Shrimp's just, he's not done. He's continuing to play up and aggressive because he knows his team's here for him.
Yeah, and they push Fabi off the turret here. Apollo almost has it down. It's very, very low. They can take it out next wave, and honestly, if TL stays around, they can actually just kill the turret and then kill TL. So they have to be very careful about how they do this. It's only a couple autos left, and Apollo has his ult. I think this is extremely dangerous.
Ray can also join in as well, because he does have teleport. Q stand United to get down there. Turret's going to go down. Shrimp already started the Mountain Drake here. Apex just getting themselves further and further ahead. They'll move back over, make sure they take the Drake for themselves, and Team Liquid have no control of this side of the jungle.
Shrimp has been putting on a masterclass this game on Nidalee, honestly bullying Dardoch away so heavily. He's always in his opponent's face, he's warding up, he's keeping his lane safe, and Shrimp has been a man on a mission this game.
This series, I have to say, good game 1 in on the Heck Room, great game 2 here, taking the Nidalee off of Dardoch and almost showing him how it's done. Apex continuing to grow a lead here, and Team Liquid solo lanes are still up, but they're going to have to play very well to get them through this mid game.
They really are, and that CS lead is not enough when you start bleeding turrets and you're giving up kills, because that advantage does not really amount to anything, as it's actually, you know, Keen ahead in gold because he has a kill and assist and he has a goal from the turret. So that's something you got to be worried about.
This is the sneakiest gank of all time. Apollo's like, hi, I'm here. Lolo's like, oh, that's interesting. What are you doing here? And Ray actually leaves him, so never mind.
They're looking for a 4-man dive, actually, top lane. They're threatening it. We can see Dardoch coming up. The bot lane duo is sneaking in here. They're going to try to go for something Will they be able to execute? This is a pivotal moment if they can pull this off, but no, they reveal, so they're just going to look for the tower push.
Ray has his ulti.
Yeah,
Can join, and Shrimp is here as well, so this may be defendable for Team Liquid, although King going back means Cassio can now make a way up, so unlikely here is Team Liquid with a good proactive play to try and knock down a turret. APX a little late to that swap, and Team Liquid will even up the turret gold now.
Yeah, smart by TL there. A little bit of a sneaky move. They kind of rotate their bot lane in through the bush, so there was not enough time for Apex to actually react to it. And had Apex stuck around, they could have looked for the dive. And worst case scenario, you just get the turret for free. So very intelligent shot calling there from TL, and they're going to need more of this if they want to get back in the game.
Well, Apollo has a big wave to farm for himself now, and Ray does get some free time to catch up, so looks like we are going to be moving back into standard lane positions here. We'll stick with 2v2s and 1v1s. Apollo, once again, he's kind of playing 3-item carry, so he's got a lot of side lane farm in these early stages to make sure he secures those early items. And Shrimp continuing to cover Ray now in the bottom lane and just take Dardoch's jungle away from him. Dardoch going to spot a ward there as Special, doing a nice job kind of moving around the map as well. Fabi going to use that ulti, gets a bit of damage down, but he's just waiting for the wave to come to him.
Yep. And honestly, when you fall behind as a jungler and someone's bullying you around like this, it's so annoying. It's one of those situations where you sometimes honestly just cannot get back into it by yourself. You need your lanes to help. But the other team knows this, and they're going to shove out waves, make it hard for their laners to respond, make it hard for them to do anything. And you just kind of have to deal with this Nidalee who's going to be in your face all the time on this Gragas, and has a little bit of an XP advantage, but Dardoch has been hanging tough. He's still picking up a good amount of farm and is certainly staying relevant. Has his flash available now, so has the play potential here on Keen. We'll see if he can find the body slam flash and set it up. They want to land the barrel, knock him into the Cassio ult. That's what they're looking for.
Oh, there it is. Got the body slam flash, but instant ult from Ray. Cassio ult does hit, and Keen's going to go down.
It's exactly what they were looking for. They nailed, but Phoenix.
Never mind. Little late there from Apollo.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he probably shot it immediately, but yeah, travel time.
Yep. Unfortunate, really, but even with Ray's ultimate, not enough to keep him alive. And Phoenix, big highlight there for his team. Had a good game one despite the loss. 1-0-0 on Cassio with a big chunk of CS up as well.
Yeah.
Could certainly take over the game.
Just no chance for Keen to do anything there. It was perfectly executed. You land the body slam, flash. There's basically no chance to react to that. And then you're getting ulted in, and while you're in the air, you get stunned by the Cassiopeia ult, because guess what? You can't turn around when you're flying through the air. So he just gets CC'd up, they take him down, and they're looking for the tier 1 mid.
Try for it. Good turret to try and take, but Apex are into defend here. Yeah, King running back in, but not quite enough damage. Team Liquid, do they commit here? Fabi even joining in, they might be enough to try and take this turret out. They're going to look for it, but Keen's back here. Wave clear is ready. Fabi actually going to eat a death ray to the face, and that's going to be the siege given up now for Team Liquid.
Still, all that damage is going to stick, right? This is a very low turret. They can come back and clean that up later.
Well, good stuff there. Team Liquid actually looking for an outer turret, starting to really run Apex around despite the team fight leads that Apex have been getting in this series. TL have definitely had the macro game under control.
They really have, and that's honestly kind of why I wanted them to play Hecarim, simply because when a team is running you around the map like this, it's very hard to match them if they are simply a more experienced, better team at macro, and I think simply put, TL is that better macro team. But when you have hard engage, you can simply start fights. That's how you do it. They have, oh sure, okay, they moved someone over there before we did, but guess what? We're just going to dive this guy in the mid lane. It's harder to do on Nidalee.
Well, good little play there from Apex. They actually get the mid outer as Shrimp forced to burn the flash in the face of Matt as he moved through that jungle, just getting some vision down. Apollo and Special have been working on that top lane outer turret, but haven't got it down just yet. And it seems like this game is going to even out on structures pretty soon, as the bottom outer's already done for TL. That's their 2 turrets along with the top lane.
Yeah, 2 to 2 turrets apiece. Still the gold lead for Apex, but significant lead again in the side lane for Lorlo, and he's once again building for this kind of 2-item split push type build on Gnar, and we'll see if they can kind of execute better on it this time. This time they're not going to be having the 1-3-1. It's Phoenix that wants to stay with the squad on a team fighter, and then you can just kind of have Lorlo out there by himself looking to carve out advantages.
Another push here for Team Liquid. Going to try and get this mid turret. Should be able to get it as King cannot defend solo versus 3. Apex, I think, kind of sacking this turret, knowing that, you know what, we're still getting farm on Apollo. We're still scaling up. We might just fight for the Drake. When we find a good spot, we do have the team fighting to try and get it done. But Apex, despite the leader, actually playing very safe here through Team Liquid, given how strong Phoenix and Dardoch are in particular at this stage.
Yeah, and it can be tough. because they're the ones with the Nidalee now. They're the ones with kind of that weaker team fighter on that jungle, and the gold leads do tend to lie to you a little bit unless you can kind of make it scrappy and split up the team fights and have these skirmishes on multiple sides. That's where Nidalee is going to succeed and really thrive. But in the straight up 5v5 kind of just clashing together battles, it's very dangerous for Nidalee to participate. You essentially end up just kind of like throwing spears last time.
Well, second Drake is up now. It's another mountain. See if APX going to move in for it, or if Team Liquid are going to trade them once again. Looks like they're trying to line up a gank here onto Phoenix.
Yeah, Lorlo's right there though, and he has Mega ready, so if they committed, it could have been disastrous. And Apex respecting the fact that Lorlo's not on the map, and potentially could look to go for this dragon.
Oh, in trouble perhaps. Actually does need to get now. Ray gonna turn it around. Stunlands in onto Matt as well. Ray's gonna join in, but ulti out from Brom does miss. Good flash torn onto Matt, and he's gonna be the target, but he's stand behind Spabby and gets himself out of the way. Now Phoenix here, looking for a big ultimate. Keen flashes forward, gets himself off back. No stun, but he will go down. Cosmic Radiance finally landing in, soaking a lot of that damage as Keen also able to get damage done to Phoenix and Lola with Chaos Storm. An interesting trade there as Lola looking again.
Yeah, Lolo has flash, he can go for the
Ray
ulti.
goes back in, they're gonna make a big play, but there's the scoop from Meganar. Ray though zoning him out, takes out Phoenix. As Babby still firing away, Special gonna die as well. Shrimp gonna try and keep playing this, and Ray look for a big heroic play. But Team Liquid gonna take him out. Ray gonna try and take someone with him, but the kite's there, he actually gets one, but that's the only one he gets.
And it is an ace for Team Liquid, 5 for 3. They make it work as they get a good pick onto Apollo. And although Apex tried to turn it around, it was just great team fighting there from TL, and it's hard for this Nidalee to really get involved and to make the most of it. And honestly, Keen overcommitted when he came down and kind of gave his life away.
Yeah, Phoenix, huge amount of damage here as well, despite the Taric ultimate. Team Liquid are going to get themselves the ace and the Mountain Drake out of the deal. What was a pretty insane little team fight.
So close, but we'll watch it once more, and this is how it starts. Apollo gets tagged by the Q, from Braum now, and they know they have to fight. But it's already Dardoch here, and the numbers advantage kind of for TL, and then flash forward, great. You caught the Braum support, not exactly who you want, and they split it up. And look at this now. So since Keen had actually flashed forward in to get that execute, he kills off one, but he kills off Matt, and he gives up his life for it. So you're trading your full health, all summoners mid laner for a low HP support, which was not what they wanted to do. And with him down, it looked like TL can go for the chase. And Lorlo coming up huge. 3-man Gnar stun there, follows it up onto 2, and they just pile in. Dardoch and Lorlo take them all down in the backline, and Ray played it well, you know, to really clean up extras in this fight. He got the kill on Cass, he picks up the kill on Fabi, but just not enough. And really, a lot of that fight just comes down to simple misplays. Wow, as a solo kill.
Yeah, Lolo just casually 1v1s the Shen. You can see the Black Cleave is now done.
And a red buff.
And that's the problem in this 1v1.
Yeah.
Ray just cannot win until he's like pretty much a full tank, and even then.
You actually can't win at any stage at this point, essentially. I mean, unless the Gnar really messes up. If he's playing it properly, he should always be able to kite you enough to the point where he can at least disengage a fight, right? He can at least say, oh, I'm going to lose, I will leave.
Well, smart stuff there from Lolo. Gets himself a good-looking little kill. Kane's still trying to wave clear out. Team Liquid, though, starting to play up and aggressive. Apex just don't have the same tools to really go in. They're still ahead, but this game's about to be pretty much back to even. Team Liquid going to try and take out this tier 2 turret.
Certainly are. They're pushing forward, and Ray is back up. He has the ulti. They could look for an engage of their own. They see Matt is not with the team. Do they want it?
Well, again, don't have quite the same tools, unfortunately, for them.
Yeah.
Italy this time, not quite the same. Apollo does not commit the arrow, and Team Liquid will pull away from their potential siege. Will watch this solo kill. Yeah, Ray's just too far up the lane here.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem. What do? You can't turn around and fight him. You can't run away because he has the frozen mallet. So you just simply get chased down, and it looks silly, but there's actually nothing that Ray can really do. If he stays and fights, he loses. If he runs, he loses. The real problem is you should just never be that far up in the first place. You need to actually respect the fact that you will get chased down and essentially just sit under your turret and wait for wave to come to you,
and
which
again
sucks.
Yeah, it does, and you can see the solo lane still struggling a bit for Apex. Keen has kept up reasonably well in the 1v1 this time. Phoenix only has a 20 CS lead, but Lolo has an insane 60 CS lead.
And 2 levels. And this is kind of getting out of hand, and this is what Lorlo did not get a chance to do last game because his team fell behind and they were getting engaged on. He needed to group, and it's not the case this time. Like you said, it's the Nidalee, it's not the Hecarim, and you know, we're not seeing Apollo nail those key arrows and allow them to get the engages. So if Apex plays passively, it allows Lorlo time to extend advantages in the side lanes.
And it does feel like, despite the fact that Apex are still ahead in gold, they've really been playing back and sort of let Team Liquid dictate the pace of the game to them, and that's given Fabi time to catch up. He's got 2 items now. He's, you know, reasonably fine on Ezreal. The rest of the map's going pretty well for Team Liquid, and Dardoch, despite the farm discrepancy, will always be relevant on Gragas. Just feels like Lolo's not going to stop split pushing. Ray does tag him with the taunt, but Lolo buffers to jump out, and Ray's just trying to get this CS out. But Lolo will either kill Ray or the turret, or both if he really messes up. Yeah,
you got to play it very carefully as Ray, and he wants to fight for as much farm as possible. Arrow whiffs.
Yep.
Phoenix going in.
Not going to get tagged. It has cleanse anyway. Ulti out there just for some damage. Phoenix does get it. Ray finds his way in, but it's a little too late as the damage deal is already dead. Ray now caught out in the front line. Is Xpecial going to try and stun them up, but it's not enough. Great ulti there from Dardoch. Going to get Xpecial back into the team as well. And that's 3 clean kills once again for Team Liquid.
And they're going to move right over to Baron. They already are pinging it. Everyone is healthy, and Cassiopeia crushes the Baron. So TL looking to blow this game wide open.
Seems like this is the turning point in the last game. Was that big Baron buff take? Team Liquid going to look to take it down. Shrimp is available for a potential steal, but that Baron's already dead.
And this is something Phoenix does so well. He always stays on the outside, denies the chance of steals. He's one of the few mid laners who plays it like this so exceptionally well. You know, Bjerg's another guy you see doing it a lot of the time, but Phoenix always likes to stay on the outside of the pit. He adds in what damage he can, but he ensures that if Nidalee comes over, he's going to get killed. And here we have the replay once again, and you know, Xpecial looks for the turnaround, but the arrow misses. The Taric stun misses. Keen's kind of zoned off on the side, and look how fast Apollo dies as the damage comes crashing in from Phoenix and Fabi helping out in the back lane. And once the Ashe is dead, there's no chance to win this fight. They simply do not have the damage to push through the front line. So Keen bails out, and it's a bit of a disaster as Baron will fall afterwards, and TL take the gold lead.
They do. Plenty of momentum as well, as Dardoch even going to strong on them off this blue buff. He gets it. No, Shrimp does, but he's almost going to get tagged up by Matt. Barely misses.
Dardoch has flash.
Yeah, goes back in, gets the body slam, doesn't even need it. Shrimp forced to burn the flash to get out from under the Gragas ulti.
Greedy auto from Dardoch. You actually can't get the Q, the auto, and still the ultimate. He just had to body slam and immediately ultimate, and that was a free kill. So that should have been you know, almost guaranteed kill there on Shrimp, but he wants to optimize, get a little bit of damage in, allows Shrimp the time to flash away. So mistake there from Dardoch.
Well, gets the turret, so not too unhappy there for TL. As
certainly not that bad.
Continuing to pressure around the map here. Lolo going to return to top lane with a Spirit Visage almost completed. Does have the 2 components now, and Baron buff should be plenty of damage getting done as Dardoch going to solo that Cloud Drake while Team Liquid are trying to create some pressure here.
Certainly are, and Phoenix is getting big, and this is how so many of the successful games from TL look, with their solo lanes doing really well, and Phoenix carrying team fights on these characters like the Vladimir, like the Cassiopeia, and he's looking to pull it off once again. Second Dragon goes the way of Team Liquid.
Well, Lolo's still stalking up here in the top lane. Mega Null right now going to slap that ward down. Make sure he gets it.
So far, TL has honestly not been super proactive with this Baron. They kind of just took the one, they're backing off, and looking to set up something now, and Lolo just needs to be careful.
Yep, pink ward cleared. Shrimp Phoenix special there as TL now seem it's safe enough to try and push down this mid tier 2. Apollo not enough to defend on his own. Keen doesn't really want to commit his face to it. Shrimp's here, so maybe they can turn it around. Rilo slow into Fabi's not bad, but probably not enough to try and get something done unless Team Liquid make a big mistake.
And honestly, for Apex, they kind of need to hard engage, because the fact is, Shen can go up top, but he can't deal with the split push of Lorlo, and Lorlo can eventually get this turret, so as long as TL does not get hard engaged on, they will be able to get a turret on one side or the other, and perhaps even both.
Looks like they are going to get both here as Team Liquid force Apex off the mid lane turret. They'll keep pushing. Lorlo able to get that top tier 2 as well, so 6 turrets to 3 now. Team Liquid far in the lead on structures.
Certainly are. Dardoch has his flash available, can look for body slam flash ult if they want to go for it.
Arrow length into Dardoch, stun does not connect, and they can't combo back into the gravity field. Team Liquid now with some cooldowns burnt, go straight back in for the push.
Yeah, and he can just go right onto the turret. Multiple people have to come up and help out with Lorlo, which means TL push right back in mid. They'll just bounce in, back and forth, because their pieces are kind of stronger that are on the map right now.
Really wishing they had a big ulti. He actually gets a flash out of it. Dardoch mind games Keen. Forced him to burn the flash. Ulti back out as well there for Keen. Does some splash damage there to Team Liquid. But Apex, like, what choice do they have there? They have to respect Dardoch.
Yeah, you have to, because that could have been a body slam flash, not just a body slam, which would have meant the mid laner dies. And Lorlo is very far up here.
He's actually going to get right into the turret. Dardoch is going to move him in, but he's pretty tanky. Actually gets the flash storm, finds Phoenix. Ulti there, needs to try and take him out, but Lorlo going to take out Ray. He's just not tanky enough there. Matt, he'll fall again, but still 4v4. Team Liquid probably not done.
Special little too late with that ulti. Did not land in time to keep Ray alive. Could have been a very different fight had it done so. Phoenix doesn't have his ultimate though.
Oh, there's Dardoch. Huge ulti onto 2. Gets Keen instantly, and Apollo barely flashes out to safety. Arrow hits onto Phoenix, but Dardoch going to take out the turret, and Team Liquid not done. Fabi, Arcane shifting forward, going to try and lock down X Special. Throws him out. Bowler gets him there as Lolo's unstoppable, and Team Liquid going to break this top side of the base.
They take the inhibitor, and they are getting very far ahead, up 5,000, almost 6,000 gold. Now the inhibitor has been cracked, and this is looking so good for TL.
And all of a sudden, feels like one Baron's kind of really turning this game back around here. Team Liquid were behind in the early game, don't forget.
Yeah.
By about the same amount that Apex were behind in game number 1. And in both cases, they just found their way back in, and TL have played a very clean game since, as this was massive.
So well done by Dardoch. Both the carries, who should not have been stacked, don't get me wrong, but still, Dardoch, he got the flash out of Keen already in the mid lane, and then he capitalizes. It's perfect. It's exactly what you want out of your jungler, and then Special getting cleaned up by the flying house from Lorlo.
And you can see high five
They're
there
pumped.
between Lolo and Dardoch. A great tag team effort. Gets themselves a top inhibitor and a huge swing as they are poised to take this game and force it to a third. Apex, another promising start here in game number 2, but will the curse of Apex game 1 continue to haunt them? I guess we'll find out, because TL going to look to try and close this one out.
A death cap done on Shrimp. That is aggressive. He's looking to pop some people, try to have a little bit more effectiveness as far as healing people up too. But it's going to be a miracle fight for Apex or nothing.
Well, looks like right now it's nothing, because this isn't particularly defendable. Special actually gets a 2-man stun, but gets them onto the 2 tanks there as Apex will wave clear what they can. Ray is busy with the supers in the top lane. Can join, of course, with his ultimate if he needs to. And
Yeah.
Team Liquid is going to bounce right back to mid lane, try and take this out instead. And that's almost dead. Yeah, there it is. Goes down. Matt puts up the door, shakes off some of the damage there from Shrimp, and Team Liquid just going to keep pushing in here.
Apex have just not been able to find the engages. Look at Lorlo chunking out some of these guys on the side. Special is actually getting very low.
He's relatively tanky, but Lolo doesn't think so. Arrow hits onto Lolo. Special burns the ulti. Now Lolo's in for it. Threatens with the ultimate, but Cosmic Radiance is finished. Ray gonna ulti back in. Chaos Storm down for Victor. Might be enough for Apollo. Gets alley-ooped into the team and goes down. Phoenix gets a 2-man ulti onto Shrimp and Ray as Team Liquid search forward there. Phoenix grabs himself a double. Lola cleans up another, and that's another 4-0 fight.
And the minions are already on the Nexus turrets here. Can TL push for the end? Another wave will be coming soon. It's going to be a little bit dangerous, but with the mini wave coming in, they should be able to go for it.
Well, Keen almost keeps him out of the turret. He barely lives as the first Nexus turret's going to fall down. Team Liquid going to go for the kill here as Keen needs to make a huge play, but Phoenix going to zone him out. Gravity Field flash past Keen is going to go down to Phoenix, and that's Team Liquid starting up game number 2.
Phoenix puts the exclamation point on game